Don't worry, I am working on more Dragon's Dogma content. But in the meanwhile, I thought it might be fun for us to take a look at some spicy little nuggets. Because, to be honest, I know that myself and many others are so in love with this game that we struggle to find any flaws in it. But those who aren't quite so enraptured might have a few perspectives that the rest of us consider contentious. So let's have a hearty helping of some real juicy opinions so we can laugh about them, maybe do some playful roasting, a bit of trolling, if you will, and not harass anyone, because that's not what I want. If you come after anyone for having an opinion you don't like, I'm gonna beat your fucking door down like Grigori. Let me preface this by saying that although I did ask people for hot takes, I don't think some of you quite understood the assignment. I was looking for spicy opinions, not lukewarm takes and facts. Some of these are just like, I think this particular mechanic that's obtuse should be less obtuse. Like, oh, really pushing the boat out on that one, aren't we? This one just says, Eleanor's worst girl. Like, I figured this was common knowledge, and if you disagree, be sure to leave several comments about it, maybe angrily share it to your friends, drop a hate like, donate to my Patreon. Let's kick things off with this one. Duke Edmund Dragonsbane did nothing wrong. Hey, buddy, how is your wife doing? Come to think of it, I haven't seen her in a while. Is she alright? Did something happen? Seriously, where's your wife, dude? Where is your wife? Where is she? Warrior. Warrior having only 3 skills at once kinda makes sense because the class only has like 6 overall, Lamau. I'm angry. I'm angry because I know you're right. It has like 10 skills, but you still have a point. I don't like admitting that you have a point, but you do have a point. There are too many creatives. Fuck. There are too many curatives and so many consumables, some of which have almost similar effects. I wish they'd streamline the consumables and crafting system and add quick slotting like that in Monster Hunter World. I actually agree with this. They almost went overboard on this stuff, although I assume that was in order to evoke a sort of Dungeons and Dragons vibe, since potions are wild in that. Like, you can get a potion of +5 goblin wrangling or whatever. The reason I'm putting this one in the video is because I made a discovery. Some absolute giga chad responded to this and pointed out that there are quick slots for controller. You hit both bumpers and then the direction you assigned an item to. How did I not know this? Anyway, yeah, mad shout outs to that guy. Warrior sucks. People just can't say it out loud, because if they did, guts would find them. Bit cringe. The thing is, I'd maybe entertain this more if someone brought up a specific thing about Warrior that is bad. So like, yeah, attack speed is something Warrior can feasibly struggle with in some situations, but I genuinely see a lot of strength to the vocation. I think it's a lot of fun, and skill issue. Moving on. The basic and advanced vocations are miles better than any of the 3 hybrids. Mystic Knight is my pick for the best out of the 3. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so this one is nuclear! One of these days I should make like a vocations tier list. I was thinking about this recently, and I think I decided that basically all of the hybrids go in S tier. Maybe. I'd probably put Ranger in there as well. Maybe Strider. I don't know, I'm feeling hard A for Strider. I can legit reel off a single skill for each of them that puts them right up there. Ready? Mystic Knight has Abyssal Anguish. Genuinely, that skill isn't even fair. It's insane how fast you can tear through health bars with it. Magic Archer has Immolation, which seems like a goofy skill to have, but then you see the damage it does, and holy shit! Assassin has, I'm gonna go with Dire Gouge, but in Assassin's case specifically, I'd say the biggest strength lies in the versatility of it. Like, yeah, if you want better, more focused archery, you're gonna go with a ranger, but when was the last time you saw a ranger pull out a sword and burst strike a motherfucker? Like, I genuinely believe that's a large part of why hybrid vocations can't be utilized by pawns, and that's because they're too useful. Most other vocations are also really useful, but they're specialized, right? The hybrids naturally have something of a broader focus. What I really like about this one is homie literally pulls out the most piping hot take I've seen in a long while, and then immediately follows it up with the basic bitch. Yeah bro, Mystic Knight is my favorite, how could you tell? I'm gonna rate this one a crying laughing emoji out of 10. Yeah, as good as the yellow classes are, I hate reverse grip daggers just on an aesthetic level. Stabbing with reverse grip is fine, but when you slash with that style, it makes you look like an idiot, wildly flailing their arms with no idea what they're doing. As a result, I rarely use the yellow vocations. Look, listen, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. There are games out there that have you holding daggers forward. One of them is Dragon Age, if I recall. do me a favor, go load up Dragon Age Origins real fast. I want you to just equip a pair of daggers and walk around holding them for a bit. Look at how fucking dumpy you look, dude. Can I get the audience to laugh at this? Can I get some laugh tracks up in here? The thing is, I don't think you're wrong. I just think that argument kind of goes both ways, but I do think there's examples of sort of a happy medium, right? Like, in my opinion, the Peacekeeper from For Honor is a good example of forward-facing daggers being used in ways that are both effective and stylish. Nice little flavor win for us roguey boys, you know? I like the necromancy skill with Sorcerer, and wish it had more spells like it. You know what I say to this one? Let him cook. Because I think that for as absolutely wild as Sorcerer gets with the lightning whips and the massive ice spires and the meteor storms and the hurricanes, there's also a bit of filler, you know? Like, maybe we didn't need 3 whole tiers of the expected elemental magic. I don't feel like Holy or Dark get the spotlight as much as they should, and they often boast some of the more interesting spells in the game. Next up we have... Hold up, let me just pop this into Google Translate.
The first few hours of the game are very difficult. As a new player, I did not understand everything. I deleted the game several times and then reinstalled it again. But after a couple of guides on YouTube, it became easier. I still think that the voice acting is weak. I installed the Japanese voice acting from the Nexus.
So yeah, I mean, homie has a point. I honestly believe that aside from Bitter Black Isle, your first handful of hours are actually the toughest the game is going to be. Because as you level up, you reach a point where you're on equal terms with what you're fighting, and then your power level really starts to snowball from there. But when things are starting out, you're at the bottom of the rung and you really feel it because of that whole damage threshold mechanic, right? Where if something is way stronger than you, you just don't even get to deal real damage to it, and it's probably gonna like one-shot you. This of course works vice versa once you're a big beautiful butterfly, but when you're a scrawny little caterpillar, life's tough, man. I don't think I'm super complaining because it provided a level of challenge that was very fun for me when I was doing that fists only run, and it forced me to approach things in different ways, but also maybe I'm a little bit of a masochist in that regard. I don't know. I'm a damaged boy. Grigori is the worst dragon in any RPG featuring dragons. Period. No! Okay, so what is Grigori being compared to here? Alduin from Skyrim, the Archdemon from Dragon Age, Bahamut from Final Fantasy. Come to think of it, there's not actually that many notable dragons in video games, which is shocking. With Alduin, you can just start flailing like you're one of those inflatable noodle guys, and he'll drop faster than my view count when I upload something that's not Dragon's Dogma. No, I'm not salty, shut up. The Archdemon purely fills the role of big scary thing to fight, and for a game called Dragon Age, there are remarkably few story-relevant dragons. I'd argue that the Darkspawn themselves are a more distinctive face of evil than the Archdemon because he only really shows up at the end. Although there is a good deal of foreshadowing and build-up, I guess. All of this is to say, I actually fucking love Dragon Age, dude. Shame it doesn't have Grigori in it. It does have Varric Tethras though, that man is turbo based. And listen, it's no secret, I love me some Final Fantasy, and honestly, I love Bahamut as much as the next guy. Dude's basically always sick, right? But that's the thing. He just sort of serves to be an epic cool dragon, and that's sort of it. His actual characterization across the series is all over the place. He's this benevolent dragon god in one entry, and then an absolute bastard in another, just popping mega flare at the slightest inconvenience. Like, Bahamut, chill. Even the entry that gives him the most story focus, 14, does so after he's already dead, so it's all retroactive. And don't even bother bringing Dark Souls into this. Are you gonna tell me Seath the Scaleless is a better dragon than Grigori? Dumb motherfucker doesn't even have scales. No scales, no bitches. Radiance is useful. I figured this was a joke at first, but they doubled down. I actually believe this. I value any little bit of visibility in this dingy-ass game over a generic stat boost. I can play it better, but I can't see better. I'm not gonna say it. I can't just keep telling people to get better eyes. I will just say, there are other ways you can mitigate this. You can dial up the brightness a bit, since some games really do default to very dark settings. Or here's something I do which doesn't work in open areas, but if you peep your minimap and kind of navigate using that, the little compass thing, it'll usually steer you right, and you can do so without actually having to see your immediate surroundings. This is actually genuinely helpful when I get afflicted with blindness and stuff like that. But I'm thinking, maybe it's time I come to embrace the Radiance lovers. Nobody chooses to be bound by such an augment. They can't help it, and I should probably be more understanding. And so I extend a hand to all Radiance users out there, and I say, guys, I can't see without my lantern! I like the cringy romance system. I'm tired of games taking themselves too seriously. I like that you can easily miss quests and that some random NPC can have interesting things to say that you can easily miss as well, and that the plot doesn't try to explain itself, because this way the world isn't so suffocating and it always feels like there's more out there. I see no point in grinding for gear if you've beaten both the game and the DLC several times. I mean, what are you even grinding for? You know, when they got me, they got me. A lot of games do take themselves too seriously, and I agree. The romance system might be quirky and at times even a bit cringe, but it's also charming and liberating. In fact, I'd say those are two of the game's strongest qualities as a whole. Sure, your mileage will vary, no two experiences are gonna be the same, but the game doesn't throw itself at you. It simply lets you discover at your own pace, and that definitely results in a game that always feels like it has something to give. Hell, I literally discovered something new making this video. If Itsuno and the team over at Capcom can make a game with this much depth over 10 years ago with a limited budget and time frame, just imagine what the sequel is gonna be like. And honestly, what the hell am I grinding for? I've put in countless playthroughs and endless hours, and it was all worthwhile, but I'm content now. Besides, there's more to life, isn't there? I could travel, see the world, focus on eating better, get those sick abs, write that novel, any number of things, really. Maybe I can give myself a break from video games. The hobby's getting kind of pricey after all, and the gaming landscape just isn't the same these days with all this FOMO and live service stuff. Yeah, I think it's time to move on. But no need to be sad about it. It's not the end of the adventure, just the start of a new one. Wait, shit, Armored Core is coming out though. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. You can join my Discord for updates and to hang out with the lovely members of the Thieves Guild. I can also be followed on Twitter, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so on Patreon, or simply donate directly via PayPal. Links can be found in the description below. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time.